So yes, first of all, I welcome you all for this AWS Solutions Architect Training Program. Yeah, we were going through an important service that is on AWS, that is S3 storage. Okay, that is the domain called as storage. S3 is a very important service, especially for all, I mean, solutions architect or developer or operations, because this is one of the object storage. Yesterday we have gone through the presentation on storage. We differentiated between EBS and S3, especially the class T block storage and object class storage. We have gone a little bit more details in object class storage. What is exactly the object? We saw about object. We have this what we call as the tiers of storages also, tier 0, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, like that. And of course, SSD, the naming terminologies also we have gone through, like SSD, and then we also gone through some of the other things like the HDD, that is normal hard disk drive, and then we also gone through the tapes. Okay, that is the cheapest one which we have. And yes, along with your object class storage, I mentioned very clearly, it's mainly used for vaults. The difference between volume and vaults. Volume is used in EBS, vaults whereas we use in the object class storage. The background I mentioned very clearly, like you would remember whenever I say about object class storage is your Google Drive, similar to that. So yesterday we learned about the object class storage, the differentiation, and also we have gone through various the terms and definitions also, the GB byte and TB byte and maybe byte, etc., all those things in terms and differentiation of your terabyte, etc., etc. And every object class storage, we have a metadata, and also we have this what we call as the data and your unique ID, which is there, your ID, which is there. And then we learned about what is bucket and what is object. So we learned about the limitations also of the bucket. Okay, this is basically object class storage is global. I told you what is the difference of global means. So it doesn't have any region, basically. I mean, any region, these global objects can be accessed. So we spoke about the objects also. The object size can be of 5 TB maximum. I spoke unlimited objects in every bucket. And then we have gone through one of the important exercise in what we call as in S3. So we learned about in S3, especially in the AWS service, how to create what we call as a bucket, and then how to add files and folders, that is called as objects. So we did that, and then later on we deleted all those things, and then I had given some files. Okay, you have uploaded that, and then we also learned about certain important things which is called permissions. In permissions also we have gone through the first element, which is called how to make the buckets public. How to make the bucket public. We did that public, making it public. So even though that is security weakening or less reducing, we did how you can make the bucket public. Yes, we did that. And then we also understood about ACLs, how to set ACLs, how to enable the ACLs and how to set ACLs to your files, especially. We did that. And then we could see that the files can be shared, the URL which is there can be shared to others. So very important one. And then, yes, all your static websites, like which includes your HTML or JavaScript or CSS or JS or whatever it is, all these things can be very well launched. And then we saw about how you can, the static website is verified. So that is about ACLs. Yesterday we saw about, and also I showed you the versioning. Sorry, before versioning, I also showed you about the static website. So in static website, you can enable and tell the file name which is mainly responsible for your main page. So once you tell that, you get a URL, and then once you access the URL, you get what we call as you get your website. And then we verified, yes, the website is running. Yeah, any questions from anyone? So these all these things, and later on, yeah, we did even versioning also. So all these things are absolutely necessary. So in versioning, we spoke about yes, the multiple what we call as update on a file. So initially we kept a file, and then we overwritten something data, and then we modified the file, and then we overwritten on that. Yes, we could see that two version files are there. So version 1, version 2, like you can see that how many number of updates which are there, that many number of files also will be there. So yes, later on we deleted the bucket, everything, we deleted the objects and deleted the bucket. Yeah, any questions from any members, please let me know, because all these topics are very important. And I also told you to please go through the important points in the stories, which is there in what we call as in your shared drive.
Yes. So can we give access to the storage to some particular people instead of everyone opening it for
Yeah,
everyone?
do that. You can do that. You can
Okay. And
specify.
how?
Yeah.
So how do we specify, like, do they need to have their account with AWS or like through email? Or like, how do we?
Usernames will be there. You can only specify usernames here. I'll show you
Uh,
today. You can do
okay.
that not with ACLs. You can do that with what we call as today. I'll speak about that with your policies. I spoke about JSON also today. Today we will
Yeah.
learn about how you can make use of JSON and policies, how you can set up for. We will learn about how to create the policy. Then you will understand about how you can set for users.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. Anything else? So yesterday I didn't do both the things yesterday same time, so that you'll be confused. So today I will speak about the policies. Yesterday only I spoke about ACLs. ACLs policies do the same thing, but policies we generally write in JSON. I showed you a sample JSON script also yesterday. Yeah, please respond. Any questions? If there are no questions, just respond saying that no question from your side. Everything is clear.
Nothing from us.
Okay.
No questions, sir.
Okay, Vamshi, no.
No questions.
Okay.
No questions, sir.
Yeah. Atika, yes, no. Everyone, no. Okay, Naveen. Okay. So let me share my desktop. I hope everyone is logged into your what we call as I mean your Google AWS account. So I'm already into my S3 bucket. I'm already into the S3 bucket. Just so yesterday we have deleted everything. So I'm just creating once again for today's exercise. So maybe same thing which I wanted to do. Maybe I can create another bucket, KETH, same thing. So with all the default values, see here, if you want to change the region, you can change the region, but not required for me. But any type. Suppose if your users, all of them are there in Sydney, or you can say maybe in Ohio, you can set your Ohio where your users will have a lower latency. So here I'm saying that ACL is disabled. I'll leave as it is and block public access, leave as it is. Scroll down and create a bucket and add the 3 files which I have given. So here I have created the bucket. I hope everyone can do the same thing. Upload your files, which is there in my shared folder. I keep all these things in website, all the 3 files I'm uploading. Okay. I just want to teach you now the what we call as the policies, the policy. Upload. Yeah, close. I have done. I hope everyone is done along with this. Once you have done this, set your permissions. The first one, block public access to off. Yeah, I made it off for the first condition as it is. And you can see my bucket is this. Okay, my index.html. The URL, you can see this particular one. I'm just pasting it to a new box. Still, I see access denied. That is because ACLs are not set. ACLs are not set. Yeah, I am passing at this level. If everyone has done, please let me know. So what I have done, I have created a bucket and I added all the 3 files and I disabled public access. And I'm just waiting for all of your response.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, everyone is done.
Done, sir.
Yeah, I'm done.
She done. Okay. Sai done. Yeah, others also, please let me know.
Done me.
Okay, Shashank done.
I did not do the ACL. Do we need to do the ACL as well?
No, not required. Not required.
Okay.
Not required. Just to enable, disable the public access. That's all. So now, if everyone has done, is there anyone else who has not yet done? Okay. So here on your screen, you can see a policy. Please understand this one. This is written in JSON. This is a simple script file. As I explained yesterday, I'll just go a little bit deeper. This is a policy. What it tells you. Policy means is a permission. Please remember at all times. Whenever I say policy, it is an indication of permissions. So the first line, the JSON, please understand, many of you may not be familiar with JSON. JSON is JavaScript object notation. So you see this one at the top, always you can see this curly brackets and ending with curly brackets will be there. So this is a start indication of your this thing. And the first one, see, you see this what we call as predefined what we call as function. So this is a version. You cannot keep on your own definitions. So this is the value which you are saying. So this is always constant for us. 2012 10 it's not the date, it is the date of which the version which is enabled, which is created. So this is standard, and of course the statement which is defined. Now these two are standard for all JSON documents. If you don't define it, will go to 2008 version. Otherwise, if you define it, is 2012 version, and we are using 2012 model. Right. So now again, I am opening with another curly bracket, and then again I close with this curly bracket which is there. Here you open this square bracket also, you close with square bracket. No need to by heart all these things. Just understand. So in what we call as you see this one, there are tabs also. It's not mandated, but still it is a differentiation. So SID. So SID is a function name where you are defining SID system identifier. You can see this one. This is a name of the object, name of public, read, get object. These are again standards. We are not defining. System will recognize. So public read get object is the function name which is defined in your script itself. I'm calling this function and say that and define that allow. So this every object I want to read allow. So for what are for who all the members which I am saying? Everyone, all the users. So initially someone has asked me who all if I want to restrict, then provide all the usernames here, comma, all the users. Here I'm specifying as asterisk. In these two quotes, I'm specifying as asterisk means all users can access this particular what is that you can access? It is defined here. Action S3 get object. So here read object, here get object. You get that object. What is that object? Is your here you see the resource is defined here. ARN, okay. So AWS colon, S3 colon. This is your syntax. Your bucket name, replace your bucket name here with the bucket which you have created. Slash asterisk means again all the folders are subfolders. If you have anything specific file name or specific folder, you can write here the syntax. Is this clear? So this one is available in your shared drive. Again, I show you in sessions. Open the sessions. So in your S3, where is that S3? Session 6, I think. Session 6. Go to that folder and see this one, the policy, the bucket policy. You can open this bucket policy.txt and just copy this one, same one into your notepad. First copy this one into your notepad. So this is the location where it is. I just copied into my notepad here, my notes or whatever it is. Not this. Or you can download and copy also, no problem. Whatever is the best way, you can do that. So I just copy the same one here and here. And what you do is that instead of your bucket name here, just edit this one, your bucket name. In my case, it is Anand KETH. In your case, whatever is the bucket name, just copy. So just again, from exactly syntax should not go wrong. Syntax, even one character, if it is gone, then the syntax goes wrong. Just say copy. It is there in the memory. All right. So now, anyway, this thing is not working, my website. Now I'm creating a policy. Go to permissions. So earlier we learned about the policies, ACLs. Sorry, not policies, ACLs. Now I'm editing the bucket policy. So if anyone wants me to wait, I'll wait. Want me to wait?
Policy, where is that?
Session 6.
Oh, no, I got this in AWS console.
Yeah, no, I'm just waiting for the others to.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone okay? Don't ask again.
Yes.
Right. So go to permissions. You already did this block public access off. So just below that, you have this bucket policy. Just say edit and say one. You have this one. Say Control V. Please give your complete syntax. It should start from the curly bracket. It should end the curly bracket. And you should replace the bucket name here. If you are having a specific folder inside, then you can go and you can edit a little bit further. Otherwise, not required. This is okay. I hope everyone understood about the syntax about this JSON document, this policy. So public read get object, allow all. If you are having a specific user, so here in my case, this is the username anandan.ke at AWS 1 is my username. Yeah, you can write that. Otherwise, else any other user you can specify. Or email ID or whatever it is. You can specify here. And to which folder you want to, or only specific file, you can do that. And say once done, just say save changes. See this one. Once this is done, save changes. Policies must be valid. What happened? I think there is something. Yeah, there is something gap which is there. There is a gap, so just check. No gaps. Otherwise, syntax errors will come. Save changes. Yeah, it is done now. You can see this particular one. It is if all the syntax is correct, then it will be saved. Otherwise, it will not save. Try to refresh now. You should see your website running.
It says you don't have permission to edit bucket policy.
Just say edit. Got this edit? Again, I tell you.
Yeah, I did edit.
Paste it here. See, there is a syntax error. Like first, there should not be a gap.
Yeah, I've removed it. I don't have syntax error, but rather it says you don't have permission to edit bucket policy.
No.
Anything?
That created just now only?
Yeah, just now.
It should. If you What ID you have logged in?
ID as in?
Your ID, right? The AWS account.
Once you're,
It's not user account, right? It's the email account only, right?
it shows the account ID. The same email ID only, yeah.
It should come. Check the syntax somewhere here. If there is syntax errors, it won't. It won't. What about others?
Done, sir. Accessible.
Done. You are able to access your website.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic.
Yeah, done, sir. Access.
Anyone else facing troubles?
Right.
Yeah, exact same thing I also was getting.
What exactly? Same.
Probably
We don't have.
Check the syntax, everything.
No. It happens like the blog public access. We edit and we enable, right? Somehow it got missed once again. So I redid it, and now I'm able to.
Now you are able to?
Yeah.
Okay. Today, 2 of them are missing, I think.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, which permission do I need to change to come out of that error?
Blog public access.
Block
Blog
public access.
public.
Yesterday you did the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, it's selected block all public access.
Off or on?
It's turned off, right?
Uh, okay.
If it is not off, then you cannot edit policies, sir.
Okay.
Okay, others also is done. Satvika, Naveen.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
done. Okay, so you are able to see the website now. So very important. See, whatever I'm showing you in the lab, my intention is again you are doing once again. If you are not practicing, then you are at a greater risk. I tell you, just doing in the class is not completely enough. This is only partial. If you do once or twice after the class practice, then your perfection will come. See, as I mentioned in the first day itself, solutions architects are in high demand. So it's not that today I can definitely guide you in the classroom, but it is expected that all of you should means mandate, do on your own. We should not, because we are the admins. We are the admins. And tomorrow when you become an admin, you need to guide others. It's not that someone else again will guide you, right? So this is my sincere request. If you are done in the classroom, you should be able to do again second time at any point of time, whatever is the situation. So that is kind of practice which I am expecting from you. Yes, Raymond. You have a question, Raymond?
Yeah. So from yesterday and today, yesterday we did give, apart from blog public access is the first step, and later we have enabled the access control list. Today we only did the blog public access off and bucket policy. This bucket policy also is giving this access control list permission.
Absolutely. That's what I mean to say. So yesterday we did only ACLs. So in ACLs, you have very limited strategy, but here you have wide open. Only thing what you need is that you need to know about JSON. So you can control each object's files and also type of access, everything. What all you can do in ACLs, you can do here, but still a bit more in basically in a script model.
Okay.
All right. Okay, I hope everything is
Still,
clear.
it's only about the convenience, right? I mean, would there be any difference using JSON other than ACL?
I don't.
Sorry?
I don't know.
I know what I mean to say is like is it like alternate option or using the script?
Some people will give you only the script. That's all.
Okay.
So if the like the DevOps person gives you only the script, you need to give only. If the client says that this is the script, that's all. Sometimes the script may be small, sometimes it may be in pages. You may not read, you just copy the script, and whatever is the way which executes, it works.
Okay, so the script responsibility is not ours, right?
Writing the script is not ours.
Okay.
Strictly no.
So policy will be defined by the customer, and we are here to
by the organization.
Okay.
Most of the policies are defined by the organization. Normally, the development is done by the developer person. We don't go. But here I'm giving you a sample that this is how the script looks like.
Okay.
Just understanding the script is not very big difficulty. If you are having a passion to write some scripts, yes, always welcome. But solutions are not required. Just understand what the script does.
Yeah.
We need not go much deeper into this. But for our learning sake, yes, I have given you a script and make you understood about this particular script.
So in the script, the effect, allow, and resource, we are giving the bucket slash. I mean,
correct.
Script is giving the complete access. It's not individually selecting some file. Yesterday, like we individually gave each file the ACL. So in this, the allow and after bucket name slash star is given all the files.
Correct. Wildcard we have given and it works for all the elements. Even if you modify also, still the policy will work. There manually every time you need to select and modify because it goes to the default, all the attributes. Here it's not like that.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So there are some advantages. Yes, there will be some specific advantages. There will be some specific what we call some modifications accordingly. But both ways I need to teach. I thought. Right. Okay. So there is a sample script even here. Bucket policy. Please go through this particular one. This is the one which I had kept it like that. If someone wants to say, like I'll tell you some examples also are there. You have bucket A. If someone places an object in that, you want to write a policy in such a way that there will be a duplicate bucket which will be there. Yeah, it will have a copy of that object, whatever you have created. So that if someone accidentally deletes also, there will be another bucket where the backup will be taken. You can write like that also policies. Some people do ask like that. It is available in YouTube's also. Many people how to replicate bucket online like that. Okay, still more is there. We can learn more things. Yeah.
And if you want to give like particular, there are multiple files in there, and if you want to give access to specific objects in a
bucket.
Yeah, in the bucket, and but not just for one, but like multiple, only few of them.
Yeah, you specify this syntax.
And for the same resource again.
Yeah, you can write
resource. Okay.
Yeah, you can specify action, another line, and say specify. Suppose you specify only file called as index.html. In another one, some other folder and some other. You specify that. So this script.
And the AWS user also, not.
Yeah, like that. You can specify these two lines again and again and again like that. It will be that script.
Okay.
Okay. So action you need to define S3 get object and specify the URL and resource. It will be allowed.
So one thing is that these are the methods like that you said public read object and get object. These are the predefined methods. We cannot change them.
Those are the functions. Those are the functions defined by AWS itself. We cannot change the values, parameters over there. So I don't say function, it is a parameters.
Even we cannot define our custom.
You can define those functions also. Customized functions, but it requires much advanced knowledge. You need to be a master in JSON also, JavaScript. And you define all these things in the script itself, and then you can execute. or some background script also will be there, which will be running. Right. So yes, let us move ahead. Still more functions are there. We need to learn.
One question. So by giving this script, we are giving the total access to all the files. So
to this bucket only.
Yeah, for this bucket, all the files in this bucket. So on top of this, for example, the script is giving access to all the 3 files. From ACL, can I restrict access to one specific file? Like, would it be like overwriting, contradicting sort of thing, or
only file index.html in this one?
From ACL window, even after having the script from ACL window, can I still restrict the permission for a particular file?
No. Here it's already allowed, right?
Yeah, okay, so
you are allowed here and you deny this one, it won't work. Deny should be top, allow should be later.
Okay.
Right.
So it's allowed in script and denied in ACL, it's still ACL will not work.
First deny, then allow.
Okay.
Right. So if you make a wildcard allow at the top and you say deny at the bottom, it won't work. So it will allow completely.
Okay. So first
right?
comes.
Yeah. Yeah, naturally deny rules first.
Okay.
Right. So here, so we learned about this block public access. We learned about the policy. We learned about ACLs, okay, ownership and ACLs. Yes, these are the important ones which is there. So we will also learn about something else, okay, this cars also later on. But before that, I'll also speak about go to properties. We spoke about versioning yesterday. We spoke about versioning, right? And I do not want to teach anything on encryption. I told you encryption also. You can basically, whenever data transfer is happening, you can start enabling your encryption. So you need to set up your keys here. If you want to say enable, yes, you can enable, and you can use your KMS, key management service. You can choose your K and then a key, and then you can encrypt accordingly. But that is not that much recommended for S3, but still you can have S3 key management system supported. Okay, keys. You can have keys, which is like keys is nothing but a password or your passcode or whatever it is. So you can set up those things. You can set up those things. But I do not want to disable. I do not want to use this particular one. So just understand that you can have encryption for your buckets. Now the most important one is your intelligent tiering. So this you may get in the exam also. Intelligent tiering. So what is intelligent tiering? Please understand. Please listen. I hope everyone has done without any questions. If there are any specific areas of questions, please ask me. So listen.
Default encryption, like I was not able to see the options when I enabled it.
You have to specify, right? When you enable, you have to have a key also, right? Key management system.
No. The screen or the options which you were showing on your screen, it was entirely different.
No, same thing. You just say edit, you just enable it, you have the types. I'm selected this key management system.
Oh, okay. You selected this again. Okay, I got it.
Right. So, yeah, please listen this one. Very, very important. This, what we call is intelligent tiering. You get one question in the exam also. So, what is intelligent tiering? So, we learned about the storage classes. I hope you all remember. Can someone tell me what are all the storage classes? Yes, please. I'm waiting for an answer. No answer from anyone? Yes or no? Just tell me. You know the answer, yes or no?
I understand correctly, the classes means that you are talking about the standard, reduced,
Absolutely. Standard
IA, and reduced redundancy storage.
Yes.
Okay. So these are the and glaciers and snow wall.
See, one thing now I understood from everyone is that you are not revising. Only I think Shashank has given the answer. Others, if you are knowingly and keeping it quiet, a big risk. If you are not knowing, very, very big risk. I don't know why. Is this a universal? I mean, is this the uniform? No, not to answer questions, so that I'll not ask questions again. Please respond. So when I ask whether you know yes or no, you should respond. Because if you the way is the same way if you are using with clients, they get very much annoyed. I tell you. We need to have proper communication skills also. Yes or no is only an option. It doesn't tell us anything wrong. So at least Shashank has answered, but others has not answered. I don't know if you have not revised and if you are not, if you do not want to let others speak, and then I'll keep quiet. If that is the thing which is there. Can someone tell me?
Yes, we had the standard AI glaciers and
Okay, I understand that, but when I ask why everyone is keeping silent.
no, we thought I was in a like I was thinking of something else. Yeah. So
Actually, sir, we were thought about that. I think the classes actually, if we thought about we yesterday you taught as a storage different categories. Classes is a little bit confusing.
Same thing, storage classes we spoke about. Even in the notes also is specified.
Maybe missed it.
Or even if you have a benefit of doubt, you should have asked, these are storage classes, please. Do you mean to say this one? I would have appreciated that also.
I mean, you mentioned the storage tiers. So
Tiers,
today
that also. So even okay, that's okay. Even if you are having a small doubt, you should say that, sir, what does the storage tiers or storage classes mean? Should have asked me that. Anything, right? If you keep quiet, then what is this answer which I should think? No, is this genuine or not?
Yeah, absolutely correct, sir. We should ask definitely any small.
But what about others? Only Sai and Shashank are speaking. Others do not want to say. They just want to keep quiet.
No. Actually, frankly speaking, I just got a bit confused between the storage classes and other SSDs and everything. So I was not pretty sure that the storage.
We can still respond, right? We can still respond saying that. So this is interactive.
Yeah.
No, that is again, I tell you, a big risk. A big risk, I tell you. If you are not responding, what is this globe which has come?
I think someone has a camera.
Yeah.
Naveen, can you just stop your camera? I think
That's not camera.
Something yellow.
Some logo, some kind of logo. It's
What you see from my side, I did not do anything.
But your name is coming. I mean, now
it's gone.
Might be my cursor has moved out.
Okay. No, my intention, see, I want to clarify. If you say that please don't ask questions, I will not ask questions. But if I ask questions and if I don't get responses, because many of you are working and some of your students also, this is way where you can really gain your answer. I mean, confidence also, one thing. Second thing is that if you are not responding, second time you will definitely start reading. And it is advantage for you. And your advantage definitely is winning is always my winning, I think. Yeah, what do you say? Because this is how I interact with the students also. Because if they don't just keep, sir, you teach whatever you want, whatever we want, we will listen, we will keep it mute and we don't ask questions. So that way, very less results will come, with the less effective results will come. What do you say? Shall we be interactive or not?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, sir. Means it should be class should be interactive, definitely.
I didn't hear from three members, Naveen, Sai, and
Interactive. It should be interactive. It's healthy discussion for the exams.
Then why are you not responding, Satvika? You never respond. Only whenever I keep your name, then only you respond. On your own, you never respond.
Sir, I was confused, sir.
No, that's not the answer at all. If you are confused also, still you can ask. I am only empowering yourself.
Yes,
That's all.
sir, I should have.
If you start speaking, you'll
Yeah.
feel like speaking. If you don't speak, you'll always be mum, I tell you. Everyone should be, see, leaders will not be born somewhere, okay? Or leaders will not be made also. You yourself should become leaders on your own. That's how I generally decide. I generally think over it. The skills which you have, when you can attract your words by following other members, you are the leader. It's not that someone else will give you the designation, then you become leader. It will not be very interactive also. The leaders are naturally, they are born. Naturally, they should start speaking, whether it is right or wrong. Maybe they can correct themselves. It's a life journey, right? So anyway, so where we are, let me go into this topic where we are. We are learning about this intelligent diary. So we learned about the storage classes. So yes, we learned about the standard IA, and RRS, and Glacier. So why should we have this type of classes? One more example, one more answer. Why we should have this type of classes?
I think we get, yeah, sure, please sign, go ahead. No issues.
Based upon our usage.
Sorry, for usage?
I mean, the type of usage we need according to the business requirement.
Okay, business requirement. So that is a universal answer, but I want to be more specific. Why we should have this type of various type of.
So based on these classes and attires, we can define our data. Like if we have definitely we have a lot of data during the commercial side. So the recent data should be comes into the first part, like standard
But why I
storage.
should have? I should have. Everyone like.
We will maintain the data as
data is
on-premise
being
and the cloud, few storage cases. So based on the requirement, we can keep the data.
Because
See,
that is frequently
speed.
accessible and it should be very responsive and quick in terms
see,
of
everyone wants everything to be fast, right? If you tell customer, let us have only standard, why we should have all the other three elements? Let us delete all the things. Keep everything standard. Let's start the purpose.
cost is also very important.
You should tell that point first. You should tell me that point. Yeah, cost is the main factor. See, customer is always worried about three factors. I tell you. No doubt you give a big lesson to him. He'll ask you one word answer. What's the cost? Because who is the investor finally? You give an excellent picture, everything picture. But tell him if it is below his budget or within his reach, he will only think about that. Cost, performance are the two important factors where customer will really think. He will only jump on your head based on those two factors, and his availability. Whatever the services are there, it should be available at all time. If his services is available, he will not be behind you. He will not be. Think about these three things, elements always. Always, customer is worried about three things. Your availability. I mean, whenever a service is active, so suppose if ATM card is there, ATM machine is there, it should be available. It should be available. The user should come in, they should take money, they should add money, whatever it should be available. Forget about that. It can be a grocery shop, it can be a banking or an e-commerce site or anything, whatever you do. He thinks about availability. The service should be available, reliable, available and reliable. And performance. Today, you may say that, okay, a transaction is taking about 1.5 minutes. Tomorrow, maybe someone will come with a solution that this transaction will take with the same elements, with the same infrastructure, maybe something by making modifications you are able to do with 1 minute. He'll appreciate you. He'll appreciate you because we are increasing the performance with the same elements. Suppose if you give a beautiful picture, replace all the standard with 5,000 IOPS to 50,000 IOPS, you'll get performance. Correct, you have given a very good advice. But behind cost, who will pay for that? If it is a nominal cost, then customer may think about it. Oh, okay, you have given a valuable solution, but still let me think. If it is between his requirement, yes, he will definitely accept. Right? So please remember these things which are there. Just keep the keywords. Customer is behind always your service availability, and again your reliability, or the availability and reliability. Reliability means that it should be perfectly working, and of course availability, reliability are both important for him, and along with that, performance. It should not underperform. It should not again say that you cannot. He'll always be happy if you are going for a higher performance. And third thing is the cost. And here, why we should have, even in a train also or in a plane also, we have different classes. Different classes. You go and jump inside a train. There is a what we call as a 3-tier AC. There is again what we call as a first class. There is a second class AC. There is again a sleeper class. There is a general class. Why we should have this many classes? Very simple. Based on the class, you get the features. Based on the class, the cost is again included along with. Same thing here also. For everywhere we have classes. We have classes here also same. What is the class here? We have standard IA, and other which I have spoken, RRS and your Glacier. We may still have some more classes. Now let us differentiate the data times. So the initially, as I have explained yesterday, someone also was mentioning the same. Like when you open an FB, the first page should be very fast. Slowly, later after 7 days or maybe 15 days or 30 days, you need not, that is not very important data. You can change the class. By changing the class, what is the big advantage? By changing the class, what is the big advantage?
Cost gets reduced.
Cost, absolutely. Now you are interactive. That's nice. I think that two things. One is that you are hearing, and second thing is that you are thinking. Two advantages which are there. So these are the type of solution. So for this, what we can do is that the solution in S3 is like we can have intelligent tiering. So what does intelligent tiering tells you? So you can write a rule on your own. You can write a rule on your own. The data which has come just now can be in standard. After 7 days or after 30 days, or take it like this. After 30 days, you can change it to standard IA. Is this clear? After 365 days, send it to archive. Archive, the Glacier. Will it not save your cost?
Definitely.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
customer, instead of paying $100, he'll pay only about $60 or $50.
Correct.
Right? So this is the type of solution which you can do using intelligent tiering. The name itself is intelligent tiering. You specify the rule. How you can specify, or you can tell after 365 days, you can delete from the bucket. No, I'm not saying that you delete the bucket if you are not using. Right? So such type of things you can define that. I'll show you the rules of how you can create. So here in this particular one in properties, let us go with the intelligent tiering. So intelligent tiering archive configuration. You see this one? Enable objects stored in intelligent tiering storage class to tire down to the archive access or the deep archive access, which are optimized. The objects will be rarely accessed for longer periods of time. So create a configuration. So this is for archives. I'll tell you the other lifecycle policies also for that. So there are two things. One is intelligent tiering. Just watch, don't change. I'm just showing you another thing which is there. Another thing which is there. In your buckets also, you can see this one. This is your bucket. And you see this one in management. You can create a lifecycle rules. Lifecycle rule. Both looks very similar. In lifecycle rules, you can define you want to S3 during the objects of lifecycling, transitioning objects to another storage class. So you can change the storage class from one class to another class. But there you can shift it to archives. Archives. So again, I show you in properties. So intelligent tiering. That okay. See this one. So create a configuration. I show you how you can do this particular one. So I'm defining the configuration. So how do I do that? I can say maybe a configuration name, something like maybe change class or whatever it is. Change class or whatever it is. Okay. This configuration applies to all. I'm not doing this one. I'm just showing you all. You can also see first and then maybe do again later. So you can say this one, this apply all the objects or specific files or specific listing. So enable archive rules. So archive tire or deep archive tire. So this is 90 days. Means that whatever files or folders which are there in the bucket, after 90 days, it will go to archive. It will go to archive. Archive means it is going into Glacier. It's going into Glacier. There are two models in archive. One is Glacier, the other one is Deep Glacier, Deep Archive. So this one, here he has mentioned 180 days, but still here 90 days is only recommended, but still you can write whatever days you want. Whatever days you want, days until transition to archive, this one. So 90 to 730 days he has mentioned here to maximum. So if I am not happy with the 90 days, I can say 180 days. 180 days. So this is one rule which I am creating. You see this one, not change class, archive. Class. I'm just defining that after 180 days, automatically all these things will be archived. So create one, what we call as intelligent tiring policy I have created here, the entire bucket, it will be archived. And again, I can create another configuration also, deep archive policy. Deep archive. So again, I say all this configuration and say deep archive. Maybe I can say maybe 365 days or whatever it is. After 1 year, you can send it to deep archive. The pricing is comparatively cheaper. Comparatively cheaper. I'll show you. So again, I specify this particular one. Yeah, deep archive. So no spacing. Letters, names, numbers, underscore. Okay. Okay. So in this way, so this is 180 days. I'm changing the bucket from standard to archive. Well, after 365 days, I change it to deep archive. Like this, I can create my own intelligent tiring policies. No, sir, I want to do something else. I want to do something else. This is intelligent tiring. I can select this bucket. Okay, I can go to management and I can say lifecycle rules. This is called as lifecycle. Here you can change from one class to another class, but not archive. This is one class to archive. As I mentioned, storage IA, RRS, all these things, you can have this lifecycle rules which are there. Yeah. So here you can specify similar to that. I can say rule number one, rule one, or something like that. I can say rule one. Okay, I can specify, apply all the objects to the bucket. I acknowledge, move current versions of the objects to the storage class, or move non-current versions, or permanently delete expired. So again, I say here move current versions of objects between storage classes. To which class you want to change. And also you can see this one, rule one, I'm defining, apply all. Again, I'll specify the days also. So here IA, you can have intelligent tiring. One zone IA. There are many things which are there. Glacier, deep archive, etc. like that. So if I say IA, I can define here itself. IA. After how many days? Again, I can specify days after object creation, maybe 90 days. 90 days or maybe 30 days, it will go to IA. You can say this particular one like this and say create a rule. Create a rule, right? So one rule is created.
So in live environment, the frequently accessed data, which storage type it will go, sir?
Frequently accessed data is always standard.
Always standard. Okay.
Always standard. Frequently accessed data, because that is the fastest one which is there. So again, I can create another rule also. Maybe again I can say a rule 2, apply all this bucket, all these objects to, I acknowledge, and I can say move, expire, or permanently. You can understand whichever is basically based on the requirement which is there. So which class you want to change? Maybe you can change it to Glacier Deep Archive, Instant Retrieval, Intelligent Tiring. You have specified already over there intelligent tiring. Based on that, the rules will come. Based on that, the rules will come. You see this one? This is a create lifecycle policy. The intelligent tiring already I mentioned. So number of days, I can specify 180 days, and then you can say create a rule. So I have to.
So if at all I want to do it for particular objects, not everything in the bucket,
You can specify that. See here, when you say, I say apply all the objects, right? Otherwise, you have to limit the scope.
Oh, okay. You can we can select the specific object.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You need to define the scope. You need to apply the filter type of maybe you can specify the kind of object. The filter should be there. Okay, like object tags or size or maybe greater than or 5 MB files or greater less than or something like that. You need to know a little bit how to create the scope of the rule.
Okay.
Learn more, we can get it. So this is about your lifecycle rules. Very, very important, especially if you want to save some money. Okay, so I'll tell you one more thing. AWS, you can say billing. Okay, AWS billing. Just learn about this thing also, which is the right time. You can say this billing. Where is that? Billing calculator. You can say billing calculator. You can just take a Google. This is calculator.aws is the URL. You can see this one. Right, you can keep in mute. Just see this one. I just want to show you an estimate. You can do all type of calculations here, all type of pricing calculations. Create an estimate. Suppose let us do for S3. So first select the service. If you don't see here, just type it here S3. S3. So simple storage service. Just say configure. Take some configuration. Okay. So here no need to go for configuration. Just say region is North Virginia. S3 standard. How much is the cost also you'll know. Suppose if you have 100 GB of data. S3 standard, where is the size? S3 standard size is 100 GB per month. So automatically you can see this billing cost at the bottom. 2.3 US dollars. 100 GB in standard storage. No, sir, I do not want standard storage. I want something else. I want something else. Okay. I want maybe what we call the other class of storage. I'll switch off this as standard. That is $2.3. I'll take this infrequent access IA. So now select this again 100 GB. How much is the price difference? You see, 50% is the cost difference. Earlier it was 2.3. Now it is almost to 1.25 US dollars. See the price difference. I'm only just showing you. Maybe if you can select this one to archive, you can see this one, deep archive and archive. Where is archive? Glacier, deep glacier, this one. Glacier flexible retrieval, this one. You see this. And you just say 100 GB. You say earlier it was 1.25. Now it has come to 36 cents for 100 for one. I mean, this is for 1 month, 1 month of 100 GB. No, sir, I want only for deep glacier. Deep glacier means that once or twice in a month, in a year. So just say this, but again, there are some restrictions also in glacier and deep glacier. You pay only hardly 10 cents. In deep glacier, you have hardly 10 cents a month. But here, there are some restrictions. I tell you, in deep glacier, you should keep something like 6 months minimum. 6 months minimum. They don't ask you, you can just add today and tomorrow you cannot remove that in glacier. You can do that for standard, but not for the billing happens once in 6 weeks, 6 months in what we call as deep glacier. You pay only very less, right? 10 cents. So details. You can see this one. Monthly 10 cents. You can just go through all these things also, try to get more and more information because you are a solutions architect. You should know this one also, calculator billing also. So provide an estimate. It's not exact. Customer AWS may revise charges from time to time. Most of the time he reduces the charges, but it's not confirmed always. Right? If you change the region also, you will see sometime region to region it changes. Like I tell you, if I go to what we call as maybe Mumbai. Let me see. Where is that? Mumbai? Yeah, Mumbai. Yeah, you can see this one 20 cents. The same 100 GB. Earlier you are paying 10 cents, right? Here you are paying 20 cents. It's costly, right? In Mumbai, it's costly. Got it, everyone? This is for S3. Similarly, you can do for even EC2 also, which you have learned. EC2. You can start working on different type of billing calculations. Suppose if you are in Mumbai, no, I'll show you first in maybe North Virginia. North Virginia, you select the region first. Region to region, the billing changes. A quick estimate or advanced. Well, let me take a quick estimate. I want a Linux operating system. I want, okay, not this. What we call this search by instance name T2 micro. I'll take T2 micro. 2.micro. See that how much is the billing. You can see this T2.micro is a monthly cost is about $8.5 US dollars. You can see this one. If you are using Linux, if you are using that. Same thing, if you are using a Windows server, then you have to pay a little bit more. You are paying 11.5 US dollars. You see this one? Yeah, can say someone can mute. I mean, you can keep in mute. Right? You see this one, North Virginia. No, sir, I want to change the region and see. Okay, you can do that. You can do that. Let me change the region to India. You see the change, $11.61 earlier. Now you see it is $12.40. We may think that for us in India and Mumbai is cheap, but it's not. It's costly because of the infrastructure cost, hosting cost, everything. They have various factors for that, right? So out of this most, because this is the oldest data center which is there in this is North Virginia. Since they have already got the revenue, the TCO we call it, the total cost of ownership, ROI, return on investment, they may reduce the charges. You see this one, $11.61, which is there for a Windows server. If you want to go for Linux server, yeah, you pay very less, $8.26. And now this is on what we call as on demand, pay as you go. Hourly, you need to pay this one. I'll show you a little bit more. Scroll down, pricing strategy. So here you see this one. If you have no upfront, this one, no upfront, and you have, you see this one, this is on demand, and you pay $11.5 per month. No, sir, I want to go for what we call as the reserved, standard reserved. What happens in standard reserved? Earlier on demand, you are paying $11.5. You see this one? Now, standard reserved, so automatically the price has come down. For 1 year, every month you pay $8.5. Every month. No, sir, I want to go for 3 years commitment. You still pay less, $6.5. Whereas on demand, you pay $11.5. And you can see this particular one, 3 years, you pay only 6.65 US dollars. You are committed. You are committed. No, sir, I want to pay upfront. So into 36 months, 36 into 6, how much? 36 into 3 is 108. That is 216 plus 225 something, it will come. No, I want to pay all upfront. 225 if you are paying monthly like that for 36 months. All upfront, you pay only 115. So where is $225? Where is 115? Almost 50% discount you are getting for $3 a month. $3 a month. If your business needs, and you know that next 3 years I'm going to use, please use this one. Standard reserve, 3 years, all upfront. No, sir, I can't pay all the things all upfront. I'll pay partial. You can do that. So you are paying $66 upfront, half of that, and then rest of the other thing, instead of paying 6.5, you pay 4.5. Still you are getting benefited. So there is a pricing calculations for all these things. You can use accordingly, and you can give an estimate to the clients accordingly. Please start working on all these things. So what do you get in this particular one? A T2 micro system with what is that, 1 GB RAM, and also you get 30 GB hard disk, which you are using for free time. This is clear from everyone? So please start.
The usage of based on the region, like though they are in near to the particular region where it is more expensive, like take example of Mumbai, but can they still go for a North Virginia or something so that the price comes down?
You have to provide solutions. If you think that your clients are better benefited in North Virginia, provide them. No,
latency will be there.
Yeah,
Difference. Yeah.
If your clients can afford for that, you can.
Okay. That's not standard across all the data centers.
Amazon will not say all these things. Amazon will tell you to understand, you to provide the requirements.
Okay.
Amazon is only a hosting.
Yeah.
Right?
So, I mean, business becomes a difference between, giving the customer the same thing in Mumbai is expensive rather than in the US it's little
So
cheaper.
I give an example. You are hosting a documentation server. Simple, a documentation server where all your documentation is there. You will always keep in a location where it is very cheap. Right?
Yeah.
It's only a documentation. Customers won't cry for that documentation. But if it is for a transactions,
Yeah, it has to be faster.
we are very much more, see, after all, clients are there across the globe, and we basically go behind the clients to get the business. When someone is giving business and the website is not functioning or the servers is not functioning, are we not losing our business?
Yeah, of course.
These things needs to be addressed. Amazon is only a service provider. So he'll say that if your clients need caching, please provide caching. If your clients need high hours, please provide. It's you need to define what is the best of the optimum value which is there. So that is the pricing calculator which is there. Please go through, please work on all the things. You will you will understand more in detail. For every service, there is a calculator. You can select the service, go through, provide an estimate so that you can put it in your project report.
So coming to this pricing, we have all sort of options to calculate and estimate the costing for our customer. But how about the latency? I mean, between Mumbai and North Virginia and another region, XYZ. So if we have to choose one region, I mean, we as a solution architect providing a solution for our customer. So apart from cost, latency is also another thing which we have to look at. So where do we get to see this? Like, for example, Mumbai has X latency, North Virginia has.
No, not speaking of that. So if you want to access a server in Mumbai, we are sitting in India, right? We get a lower latency compared to Paris. Yes or no?
Yes.
Correct. Where your clients are they there in Sydney or are they there in Paris or there in Tokyo? If your clients, if you say 50% of clients are there in Sydney, 25% in Tokyo, and another 25% rest of the world, how will you provide a solution? Where will you host the services first?
Okay.
Right?
So,
these are all global business, right?
okay.
So naturally, because since 50% of them are there in Sydney, you will definitely host your services over there only in Sydney only. Whether it is an S3 bucket, whether it is your S3 EC2 server, you definitely give preference to the 50% of the people. So how do you address the other 25% who are there in Tokyo? You should provide now. Later on, we will decide about rest of the world.
Okay. So I don't know. I mean, hosting an other server is not a solution, I believe. But
right? That is too costly, right? You are paying
yeah,
double.
I mean, hosting one server and rest of the world probably they have to bear with the latency then.
Okay, confirmed that there are 25% of the clients are there in Tokyo. Then how will you address? Confirmed because transactions can be known very easily. How do you address that? Anyone? It's not only Raven. Think that you have a solution now. We discussed already.
Maybe use edge locations.
Absolutely, that is the answer. Vamshi is right. Provide an edge location. That is CDN, caching. That is cheaper than your hosting.
So how do we calculate that? If at all we want to select the edge location?
That calculator is there. So that is only not hosting, right? It's only a data transfer. Caching is not replicating a server.
Yeah.
It is only a data transfer. Frequently used data can be transferred like that. So naturally, hosting a server, if you are saying that $10 or $20, yeah, we are using P2 micro. P2 micro is not always the solution. If you are paying $100 a month, rather than $100 deployment on another location server, if your business needs like that, a deployment, you can have a multi-availability zones or multi-regions, right? So that redundancy will be very high. If there is one fail, second one also can be addressed. Second one will be always be available. So that is again another thing. Okay, but the thing is that here, if business is okay, it's okay, you can use CDN. That is content delivery network. Right? Please, you have to think globally. You have to think globally. The rest of the other parts of the world, whoever it's there about 25%, it's okay. It's okay. They may face a lesser latency, but if you know that specifically a region is having 10% or 15%, if you want to deploy a CDN, you can do that. You can do that. So these are all various type of thoughts you should have.
Using this edge location, I mean, we only do the caching for the specific things, right? I mean, it's not like I'm doing the complete server.
Absolutely.
So it's like the 25% population or the staff which sits in a different country or different location. We try to have that staff accessing only particular department or a particular section of the.
That is a website, right? It's an e-commerce website or something.
Yes, yes.
Actually, when they are accessing repeated things which are coming, it will be catched and they will feel the lower latency always.
Okay.
Naturally, it is always a big advantage, whatever performance which you are giving. But that doesn't mean that you have to keep your over costs. Okay, so we learned about calculations also. I mean, billing calculations, just go through many things which are there. Okay, my estimate, you can even provide an estimate also to the client afterwards, which is there. Yeah, like this. Please go through this calculator.aws a little bit more.
Any questions on this billing, I mean, estimations for in the certification?
One or two questions. One domain is there, I'm telling you. Costing, billing. Because every solutions architect needs to know about costing also. That in depth. You don't require to remember the values. You need to know how to get
logical thinking.
Yeah. Which one will be benefited, which one will not be benefited, etc., like that.
Okay.
Right. So now just I'll remove all these things. I just shown you all these rules, actions. Okay, I'll select. Let me delete. So please understand how to create your rules, etc. So this is your lifecycle configuration. Yeah, I also spoke about this the properties and that your lifecycle. What is that? The intelligent tiring. So all these things in S3 itself, you may get 3 to 5 questions. So please remember, all the things are very, very important. So what all I have spoken, yeah, especially what we call as versioning, I spoke. Okay, I spoke about. Okay, encryption is not very much big. Intelligent tiring, you may get one confirmation. In permissions, we spoke about the policies, the public access. Yeah.
One question. So means I just wanted to know where we should use lifecycle configuration or where should we use intelligent tiling configuration? Or no. That's fine. Means in what kind of scenarios? Means either we should be opting both of them, or we can.
See, lifecycle policies you can make use intelligent tiling. I shown you just that also. In lifecycle policies, you can do intelligent tiling also.
Okay. No. My thing is that maybe there will be a question in which scenario we should use lifecycle configuration.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that. I have shown you that option also over there. If you say create configuration, it will ask you to, if you have already created your intelligent tiring, you can use that. Here you can use only archives or deep archives, nothing more. Here. But whereas you're in your management, You have all the policies and where you can even filter accordingly. Where is that? Not filters. Yeah, move to specific and you can specify whatever of the all things are available here. So this is called as intelligent tiering. Sorry, lifecycle configuration. And you can define that. So in properties also, you can specify those things in intelligent tiering. You can create a configuration and you can define what is that? The enable or disable this configuration of the same thing which I defined. Archive, deep archive, etc. All these things.
Okay. So and they both are not in dependent to each other. Means if we define
similarities are there. Nothing.
We can define any one of them as well.
Absolutely. So here and there options are very similar. There you have more options, IA and all this thing. Here you have only archive and deep archive. So once and twice you just start doing it, you will understand this one. Now the other things which are there.
How the retention period for this archive and deep archive? So if in future we may want to retrieve the data to revert back.
I didn't get you.
To revert the data on the archive and deep archive.
All those things are based on your organizational policy. If your organizational policy says that after 90 days you want to take an archive, you can. So all these things will be a part of your change management. There is a documentation where your project manager will tell you all these things, or the client will tell you, we are the policy, these are the policies we are following, and we have to follow these. So we cannot set according to our own, I tell you. If client says that whatever you want to define, put it in the change, okay, we can do that. Sometimes first time projects will be there, where we need to define and we tell the client and they record all those things.
Okay.
Right? It's not mandated, it is only between you and the customer. But once it is agreed, then we have to follow.
Okay.
Otherwise, the concept of audit will come. Once the audit comes, and if you don't practice whatever you define, then they will put it in the dashboard, which is called a non-conformance. Some of you are aware of this audit, right?
Yeah.
In your organizations, you might have this PwC audits, ISO audits, etc., etc. Familiar audits, or anyone sat along with the audits?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Anyone over there as a part of audits, project audits? Okay. So, but please remember, every project has audit, maybe once in at least 6 months. Sometime, if the project is very small, then it will once in a year. But it has to go for an audit. Without audit, the project will not. What is audit? Whatever you have defined needs to be followed. They will verify all the things. Maybe external people will come and they will ask you questions to the project manager. If he fails, then they will put it to the CEO that this project, they are not following the practices which are defined. If there is no things which is defined, again that thing he will write. It's not documented in the project, what we call as a project plan. So it is the duty of the project manager to understand, to keep all the documentation set, especially related to the policies. Policies are very important. Otherwise, if everyone comes, oh, this is my sweet time to the office, it doesn't work. We have a policy, 9 o'clock means 9 o'clock, everyone has to come. If you don't come, there is again another policy. Your HR policy says that, okay, if you don't come, your half day salary will be cut and half day attendance will be lost, everything. So something like that. Every organization has policies. Without policies, no organization will work. Whether it's a college also same. It has to go through the policies. If there is a deviation, there will be again something which is interlinked to that. Right? I do not want to discuss further. We have still more. Yeah. So see this one, cloud trial. So we just saw about this particular one, intelligent tiring. So just go through this cloud trial. So this is not, we cannot do this particular one now, but what is trial? Trial means, you see this one, cloud trial. Later on, we have an excellent chapter for that, for us to learn about this cloud trial. I just leave you cloud trial. Cloud trial is nothing but your log events, event logging. So whatever is active, you created a bucket. You added some object. There is an activity with a timestamp. You can keep all the activity record using this cloud trial. So once you define this cloud trial, what happens is that every activity, whether it is a user activity, whether it is a administrator activity, whatever is the activities will be recorded. And these recordings will be kept inside a bucket. And this can also be exported to MS Excel or to a database, so that these type of things are used for auditing. This one line, if I say that what is CloudTrail, is event logging. Event logging, all the events will be logged in. Is this clear? So later on we will configure about this CloudTrail. It's not only event login for S3, for many things we have. Maybe for EC2 also, maybe for something else, we will RDS, all these things also will do CloudTrail. And these events are events. You can see this one, these events are recorded. We will learn this particular one at a later stage. Is this clear, everyone? One word, CloudTrail means, what is that?
Logging events.
Forget that. The basic things are necessary. Basic things are necessary. CloudTrail is event logging or event logging, mainly logging events or whatever it is. Okay. Now, these notifications, these events which are there, I know that where these events will be logged. I mentioned just now where these events will be logged.
Into the same bucket.
Absolutely. See, whenever anyone is answering means they are listening, other people may need to listen better. Otherwise, it will be difficult. So, as I mentioned that these events can be logged into a bucket. And these events can also be exported to Excel sheet or to a database, as I also mentioned that. So this one. So if you want any events to be notified, notification means that like to a notification to an email, notification to SMS, notification to website or something like that. How do you send that? We can use this event notifications here. We have again a separate topic for this particular one about event notifications also. You can create a rule or event notification. You can add the subscribers, event subscribers, like your email subscribers or your messaging subscribers or maybe something else like that. All the subscribers you can add. And once you add the subscribers, any events which are there will be notified. Alerts, we also call this as an alerts. So this is called as event notifications. We have a service called as SNS, simple notification service. There you can understand about this notifications. Right. This is not much used for us, event bridge. Let me explain about this transfer acceleration. Transfer acceleration. So this doesn't come under free tier. This has additional charges. So what is this transfer accelerations? Yeah, Rivan, any question?
No.
Yeah, just listen. The transfer acceleration is mainly used to speed up, to increase the performance. We use this transfer acceleration to increase the performance. Please understand this one, to increase the performance. How do we increase the performance? What does it do? So here in accelerated endpoint for faster data transfers. I mean that once you select this transfer accelerations, it will reserve some bandwidth for you. It will reserve some bandwidth for you. Whenever client access, it will come in a, what is a priority lines. The data is transferred through the priority so that you get a better speed. That's why we call this transfer accelerations also. So this is mainly used, if I say rest of the world, if they want to get a better benefit, you use transfer accelerations. Is this clear? CDN is one option for improving the performance. Transfer accelerations is also another way where you can increase them. But these are again chargeable. It's not the free things which are there. Right? Is this clear? You can just say edit and say enable. So automatically you'll see that you get a URL, use the transfer accelerated for faster data transfer, which incur additional fee, right? I'm not saving that, so that it will come accordingly. So that is about transfer, not much, but still you can think about transfer accelerations is something which is meant for more performance, and it incurs additional charges. Right. Now these things are not much important. Object blocking, requester pays. Okay, requester pays means that whoever has requested, they have to pay rather than we pay. See how the charges are. Please remember that type of question may come. How the charges come into the picture. How S3 bucket charges are. Please remember. If you write any data into the bucket, there are charges. Please remember. That means that you're writing something inside the bucket. You're writing something into the bucket which is using some space. There are charges. For reading, no charges. Again, I repeat. You have some data which is written inside the bucket, writing inside the bucket. There are charges. But for reading, no charges. Anytime you can read, any times, no charges for that. Again, yeah, Sai.
Suppose we, example, like we keep the documents which we only read, we don't edit the document. Then
Amazon
there is
doesn't
no.
charge. Amazon doesn't charge for reading any data from the bucket, right? But
Storage.
second thing. So yeah, there are charges for something else. I tell you, if you have a bucket, you are trying to copy into another bucket, from one bucket data to another bucket, which may be in a different region. If it is there in the same region, again I tell you, if it is there in the same region, you only pay for the bucket charges. I mean the data in charges, which is there. Is this clear? You have bucket A, you have bucket B in the same region. The data transfer charges will not be there. Only the bucket, how much you use, the size you have to pay for that. The size, I mean the data size, we pay for that. 100 GB, 50 GB, 10 GB, 5 GB, according to that. But if the bucket is there in a different region, not from the same region, to a different region, even though it is global, you are transferring. The transfer charges plus the storage charges will be there.
So suppose if it's like an edge node where we want to transfer the data.
Bucket
Okay.
A is there in one of the region. You created bucket in North Virginia. You created another bucket in maybe a region called as maybe in North California or maybe in Mumbai. Okay, you are trying to copy a bucket resources from one region. Resources means the files or folders from one region, from one bucket to another bucket. Okay, from one bucket. So here there are no charges, but here there are two charges. One is the bucket holding charges. Maybe 50 GB has come from here to here, right? The 50 GB will be there. And second thing is the data transfer charges also will be there because the internet usage has come.
Okay.
Is this clear? This type of process come.
So data replication also can be enabled between two different.
But data writing charges will be there. Data writing from one region to another region. Not reading. Reading will not be there. Right. Writing, data transfer, writing from the destination, how much data has been written, so that much internet charges also will be there. Is this clear? Okay. So that is some key things which you should know. So requester pays means that who pays for that. So this option is not being used much, but still, if you enable that, requester will pay, whoever is using. And we already saw this static website posting. We already saw that. How to post.
Let's say my business runs in a globe with the different regions, even though the cost will vary with the same.
No, I didn't get you.
My business runs in the globe with the different regions, let's say Asia Pacific or Europe AMS. So the data transfer charges still applicable for within the same projects?
No, your question I didn't get properly. You should say my bucket A is there in one region A, the bucket B is there in different region.
Correct, yeah. So even though the charges will be applicable for...
Absolutely, that's what I was giving example.
Okay.
Whenever you transfer data from one bucket to another bucket, the bucket charges also will be there. Okay, 100 GB plus the transfer charges also will be there. Transfer to the destination. Wherever you are writing there, the charges will be there. The internet charges will be there.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Right. So we saw about the static website posting also. Okay. So these are all the important things in properties. Permissions already we have gone through. The block public access we saw, block policy. I just want to delete the policy. I can delete the policy as needed.
What is the static website hosting? Like, is it something different? Like,
we did that yesterday. .xml, .html, index.html. You got
the files which we were using as a part of the bucket, right?
Yeah,
but
same static website posting. Once you say that index.html, you can define and then you can post it.
Okay.
So we spoke about ACLs also yesterday itself. Yes. This is the last one which is there in this cross origin resource sharing, CORS. We also call it CORS. So this again priced this one. The CORS configuration written in JSON can define the way where the client web applications are loaded in one domain to interact the resources in into a different domain. So different domains, if you want to, then you can cross origin resource sharing. You can do that so that you get a URL. And once if you define that, you can transfer from one bucket to another bucket or from one account to another account also. If I have one resource, one bucket or one data, if I want to transfer to your account, how do I do that? So once if I enable this one, I get a URL. Using that URL, you can copy. This is clear? From one account to another account. Also, you can do that. Cross origin. You need to write the JSON script here. So there will be a public, what we call is availability, cross origin. What is that? Resource sharing. The object is here, resource sharing. Is this clear? My account is there. I have my bucket. I want to share my resources to your account. How do I do that? I can use this cross origin resource sharing. Okay. So this is all about your S3 basically, which you need to know about this particular one. Properties and permissions are very important. Metrics is only measurable values, which are there, nothing much. You see this on the bucket size, the total objects, etc. It's only viewable for your information. What is that? How much you are using, etc. All these things will be shown here in metrics. Management, I have shown you just now. Lifecycle rule, this part which is there. That's all. And of course, the access points also not much. I never use this particular one, not much. So this is enough for all of you to understand about. Please go through all these topics which are there, especially properties and permissions. Yeah, any questions?
The static website hosting. So can we have our own domain name over there, or like it will be the same whatever we have the?
I don't know why you are asking this question. Yesterday we did this on static website hosting. It will give the URL. I specified also. This is an important point also, that URL you need to know the bucket name dot AWS Amazon.com dot your whatever is the object of whatever is that, you need to define that. In static website you get Amazon.com.
Okay.
No, you remember? Yes or no? Yesterday we did that. Static website we defined. Enabling means you can enable that, and then what happens here? You see this one in properties. Once you say that, edit, you need to say enable, and then what is your index.html? You'll get a URL at the bottom. The URL at the bottom. So once you have completed that, you see this one. This is the one. This is your URL, and this you cannot change this one. Yesterday also someone asked me this question. I said that no, sorry, you have to use this one only. Probably you can use a domain alias or alias account, or maybe like Italy or something like the shorten URL or something like that. But this is the URL which you get. We cannot change this one.
Yeah,
right?
got it.
Within this, we have an option of redirecting to a different URL. If you do the edit, static website hosting edit, the second option.
Yeah, redirection can be done. But you cannot basically have a duplicate URL, or you cannot change the URL so that it get access to that particular areas.
So redirection is something like, can we give an alternate URL?
And say that URL also will function this put to this particular.
Okay,
if you have a URL, for that predefined URL should be there. So that if you define, if you click that, still the same thing will show. for the website. Right? So once done, you can empty all the files in this particular one. This is permanently delete. I do that. Okay, so exit, and then I delete the bucket also. So my suggestion, please practice all the elements in this particular one, static bucket. In this S3 bucket, very, very important. And maybe a number of times we use this particular service a lot. And in services, I tell you, there are some more things which are there, like where is this storages, which you should know about. I'll also speak at a later stage, the storage gateway and this glacier. You see this one, it's a glacier service which is there, where you can have what we call as I mentioned now, cold storage. And of course, you need to define the storage gateway also from on-site to anything which is there on the cloud. You can archive your this thing. Deep glacier or glacier will be there, two elements. You can keep the data for longer period of time. So, but the only thing which you should know once you click this S3 glacier, the terms basically where is that? Like minimum of 180 days, something will be there. That is the billing which they generally use. Yeah, you can go through the pricing page a little bit later. There are some conditions which are there. So this is IA is 30 days minimum, that is there, 30 days minimum. Glacier, you see this one also, minimum of 90 days, I think. Yeah, 90 days. Storage duration of 90 days, minimum, they'll charge like that. And the other one, Deep Glacier, maybe 180 days. Yeah, this is of 180 days. You can see this Deep Glacier has a minimum duration of 180 days. So you cannot just keep this one for a few days and then just change it to the other class. So if you are changing it to this class, ensure that Deep Glacier, you keep the data for 180 days and this one for 90 days. Then only you can do. The billing is done like that. So just to go through that. Right? What else we have left? So that's all the important key things which you should know for today. And rest of the other things, yes, tomorrow we will start with a different service that is called as RDS, Relational Data Services. Very, very important. Please be ready with your service tomorrow. And then we again will come back after RDS. We'll again come back to what is that? The service which is called as EC2, that is for auto scaling and load balancing. Okay, the very, very, very important elements which are there. So tomorrow we will learn about RDS, relational data, how to set up maybe MySQL or maybe something like that, Aurora. Okay, so MySQL, we will create a database server, and then we will access the database server from the backend. Okay, so that's all from me for today. If there are no questions, we'll log off for now, and then we'll again meet tomorrow. Yep. Thank you, everyone, and bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Have a good
bye.
night.
Yeah, good night.